Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. In this video, my friends, I am going to share with you the final 2 prompts. So that is day 30 and 31 for December 2024. I feel like we just started and here we are at the end. I am going to share with you what I created for the final 2 prompts. And these last 2 prompts are so very dear and special to me. So I am thrilled that this is where it's ending, because to me, this is the peak of all the prompts. I could not be happier with the way these final 2 prompts turned out. Each of these prompts allowed me to almost memory keep. One, that being day 30th, I documented an event that happened with my husband, and for day 31 I documented something that's very meaningful to me. So let's get right into it. For day 30, the prompts were envelope flip and secret love letters. When I think of love letter, I think of my husband. We have been married for over 10 years, and honestly, I feel like we just got married. He is not only my first love, he is my last love. In April of 2024, he experienced a medical crisis episode. What he had was triple bypass open heart surgery. Now, you don't know my husband. Obviously, you don't. So I don't talk a lot about him here, but he is a strong man. He is an active man. I joke with him a lot that he, in his past life, must have been either a Viking or a knight, just because of his hobbies. This is a man who enjoys forging. This is a man who trains in HEMA, historical European martial arts. He also trains in jiu-jitsu. He is just a protector in every sense of that word. So when he had to have this surgery, it was humbling, not only for me, but I think more so for him, because he had to accept that he is not invincible. When I saw this prompt of a flip and a love letter, I decided I was gonna do some memory keeping of what happened during that time. So this is what I created. First off, this is my husband. This is my husband right here. He is in his full fencing gear. He's holding a long sword and he's holding a mug. This is him looking healthy. This is what he looks like now after going through his surgery, recovering. I thought this photo was perfect to use for this page. What I did is I took a seed envelope. These were those seed envelopes that were available at the Target dollar spot. I lined them with some background paper. I cut it in strips and outlined, or paper pieced, I guess, the envelope so you didn't see that gray anymore. And then I added some paint splatters, and I have some hearts here at the bottom. These hearts I created by using this punch. This is one of the Biggs dies, Tim Holtz. It's 660233. I think it's called Heartfelt. Yes, it's called Heartfelt. And once I cut all those hearts, I used black cardstock. I brushed some Gilda's paste wax on them in the color Antique Gold, sprayed some of these Distress Spritz. This time I kept the colors out. I used Lumberjack Plaid, Hickory Smoke, and Uncharted Mariner. I did 3 because everything is just, I know, visually pleasing in 3. It's like more aesthetically pleasing. Then I outlined the heart in the color copper using a copper metallic Sharpie. So at the top is a scrap piece of Tim Holtz fabric, and I use my clickable alpha stamp to stamp the word Sundoku in Japanese, sundoku, and I'm probably mispronouncing it, means collecting books and letting them pile up unread, not for neglect, but for the joy of knowing they're there, full of untold stories. I stamped the word here because the secret love letter I wrote to him is on the inside of the envelope, and it has very much to do with that word. What I did was I carefully opened the envelope, hand wrote my note on the inside of the envelope, taped the picture on here, and then sealed the envelope. So it's still open, but you can't really read what's in there. It's secret, right? That is the flip itself. On the back of the flip is a picture he took. This is the selfie he took while he was in the hospital. This was 4 days post his surgery, and I printed a post that he wrote and he posted on his social media. It was a post he wrote kind of explaining what he went through from his point of view and in his own voice. Those types of messages don't come easy to him. He is just not that kind of guy. But that he was so affected by what happened to him that he did this, to me, was just something else I wanted to document somewhere. So I printed his message, I printed the photo, I glued it on the back of this flip, and on the page next to it is this page. This page to me reminds me so much of him. It's a reminder that no matter how strong you think you are, sometimes things in your life, things happen to you in life that humble you. So what I did was I found a kind of steampunk heart, or a heart that has some new mechanical parts, because that's his heart now. He has new mechanical parts in his heart, and that's what keeps him running. And I found a kneeling knight. I fussy cut the heart, I fussy cut the knight, I added them onto a background. This is one of those steampunk background pages I mentioned in videos in the past. This one had a big clock, and I thought that was just perfect considering how time is precious and it's never guaranteed. I added some white splatters, and I put the date of his surgery on the cloak, the knight's cloak, and it says 5/29/24 because that's when he had his surgery. His bounce back, my friends, has been amazing. He's doing incredibly well now. He's healthy. He's to my chagrin, he is back to fencing, he is back to forging, he is back to horseback riding. He is pretty much back to everything he was doing pre-surgery, but now he does it in moderation, a little more care for his physical well-being. So that is day 30, and I'm absolutely thrilled with the way it turned out. This might be one of my favorite pages. I love this. I think it turned out beautifully. You see that? So, day 31, mixed media tag and urban graffiti. What I ended up doing was creating a tag featuring some art by my child. So first thing I did was I took some alcohol ink cardstock. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 gloss cardstock. And I just had a play with all of my alcohol inks and created a background. Just had a crazy play. It was messy. I wasn't sure what I was going to end up with, but I knew I wanted to play with my alcohol inks because I'm not very good with them. I'm not good with them because I don't practice with them, and I don't know them because I don't practice with them. And if I don't practice, I'm never going to learn them. Once the entire cardstock was just covered, covered in alcohol inks, I then ran it through my machine with an embossing folder. I used this Tim Holtz Alterations embossing folder. You can see some of the inks transferred onto the folder. I'm not sure how to feel about that. I'm like so meticulous about my supplies, but it is what it is. This is a kind of brick wall. Not kind of, it is a brick wall. I don't know if you can see that. I ran this through my machine and got this beautiful, I don't know if you can see it in the background, this beautiful embossed raised brick effect in the background. I then went in with some distress crayon in the color Black Soot. I was hoping to have some of the black fall like between the bricks to just create more dimension and better emphasize or outline the bricks, but that's not exactly what happened. I don't know. I was just playing around and it didn't work out exactly like I had hoped, but it worked out. I then took some Gilder's paste wax in the color black and started just lightly brushing on the surface of the paper to maybe catch the peaks of the embossed bricks and highlight those a little bit, and that kind of worked a little bit. And then I went in with some white ink splatter. Now these three characters here, when I think of urban graffiti, I think of urban art, and these are three of Elliot's creations. I printed them on sticky back photo paper using my Sprocket, my mini Sprocket printer. This thing is amazing. This little guy right here, this Sprocket right here is amazing. I use this to print pictures directly from my cell phone. So what I did was I printed three of Elliot's little creations that kind of reminded me of urban art. I fussy cut them and I glued them on here. That is this page. Not page, this tag. At the top is a tab from a can that I treated with some alcohol ink, and I tied it onto the tag using a little scrap piece of Tim Holtz fabric. So that's the tag. The back reminds me of graffiti, and the images themselves remind me of urban art, and I think it worked out well. And on the back, there is actual graffiti. So two things here in the back. In my best graffiti style typewriting, I wrote here day 31. And then I had my child sign the back of my tag with her tag, and it says trick. And I had her do it with, I think it's a copper Sharpie metallic marker and some white paint splatters. And then to find a home for it, I found a page in my journal that was just blank, kind of like this one. I used a sheet of the Dina Wakely Media Collage Collective #2, volume 1. I took a sheet from here, roughly cut it to the size of the page. I love this one. I thought the colors worked out well. They don't compete too much with the tag. And I especially love this one because it had a sentiment that says, please do not feed the food. I used some scraps, some leftover of the embossed graffiti tag to create a tiny little like tuck spot here in the corner so that I have somewhere to stick my tag. So that is day 31, and it is the final day of December Ember 2024. And with that, my friends, this series comes to an end. If you have not seen the first 3 weeks of my completed prompts, be sure to check them out. I will link them down below. So that is my share with you, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me during this December 2024. And a big shout out and thank you to Louisa Hensel and Barbara of 49 Dragonflies for putting together another fabulous list of prompts. And I appreciate all of the work, effort, and dedication that you commit to December every year to make it special. This year, it was, like always, super special, and I appreciate you so, so much. I will catch you all in my next video, my friends. Until next time, bye-bye.